Today we're checking out Pacesetter Homes in Crosswinds, a new construction community in Northeast Kyle. This is my fifth and final video of Crosswinds. I've done a video for each builder. Just focusing on Pacesetter today, we're gonna tour 3 different homes, listed in about low 300s to low 400s, tour the model home, talk about their incentives, and just get a sense of what Pacesetter is offering. We're gonna get after it right now. Hey, Daniel here, your local Austin area real estate expert. If you're thinking of making a move to the greater Austin area, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on the latest real estate news. I typically upload on this channel twice a week, every Tuesday and Thursday. You know, I was a teacher for 10 years before I jumped into real estate, and I found that the values and skills that I had as an educator transferred over really well into real estate. Honesty, hard work, effective communication, and just helping people achieve their goals is still really important to me. So it doesn't matter if you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days. You can give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or schedule a Zoom call. Love to help you and your family find a great home and a great deal in the greater Austin area. All of that contact info can be found in the description below. So now let's chat about Pacesetter and what they're offering. And as I'm talking, what you're exploring right now is their model home. If you're interested, that is their Crow floor plan. It's a 1-story, 3-bed, 2-bath with a study, 1,705 square feet. And that would be, it's listed at $373,900. They don't have any of those available right now. With all those upgrades though, for that specific model, you're probably looking in the mid 400,000s for that home. But let's talk about upgrades for a second. So Pacesetter in Crosswinds doing something interesting. They are no longer doing custom built here. They're offering 3 interior packages. So you can still pick a lot. You can say, I want this floor plan on this lot. That's still fine. But then you can't, detail exactly what you want for your flooring, your countertops, your cabinets. Instead, they're gonna have just 3 different packages that you choose from. Now, the reason they're doing that, it's going to lower price because with that, less customization, they can really hone in the exact same materials, buy in bulk, and they're gonna be offering a lower price. And a benefit of this is when they show, and I'll show you right now, real quick editor, if we can just go to the pricing sheets. You can see on the 40-foot and the 50-foot pricing sheets, the price on the right, typically when you see that from a builder, that's the starting price. And then you add the upgrades and the lot premium and all of that. With Pacesetter, that's the price. And so, and at the end of this video, actually, we're gonna check out a Beaumont, which is listed at $372,900. And on that listing, on that price sheet, it's $372,900. So it is nice that the price you see is the price they're listing it at. It's not a starting price, and then we find out upgrades cost an arm and a leg. Okay, but something to be aware of, you don't get as much customization as you would with a different builder. So the incentives they're offering right now is a 1-0 buy down of your interest rate, meaning the first year you would have a 3.99% interest rate, which is fantastic. And then the second year onward, you would have a 4.99% fixed. Right now, as of recording, a 30-year conventional loan interest rate is sitting at 6.58%, which is actually the lowest it's been in 10 months. But still, you can see that's way higher, 6.58% versus getting 3.99%. You're gonna be saving hundreds upon hundreds of dollars on your monthly mortgage payment. So great incentive from them there. They're also offering some money towards your closing costs too. And all of this is negotiable. So, when I speak with a builder rep, they'll say what's online, but then when I actually start negotiating, we can typically get closing costs paid too. Tax rate in Crosswinds is 2.68%. HOA is $40 a month. Pacesetter has about 70 lots left, so they're anticipating to be building here for about another 2 years as of me recording, right? And then the section that they're building in, Highland and Perry are also here. Which is nice. Something I don't really like about Crosswinds is each section of the neighborhood is segregated, right? So you'll have your Pacesetter area, and then you'll have your Pulte area, and then your Perry area. I like that this section, at least, you have Highland, Perry, and Pacesetter all mixed. So when you're walking down the street, it's just different architecture. It's a little more interesting to look at. They have 40 and 50-foot lots available. We're gonna check out 2 40s today and a 50. And if you do the to-be-built route, picking a lot and picking your floor plan, you're looking at about 4 to 6 months of build time. So the first house we're checking out today is their Austin floor plan. This is a 1,487 square foot, 1-story, 3-bed, 2-bath. And this one's their lowest price home right now. It's listed at $320,900. I'm gonna pan around. They're actually finishing this home up, so they're actually doing the landscaping today, so I want to stay out of the workers' way. But you can see good length of the driveway. Can comfortably fit 4 cars there. And then we have a really nice driveway, or garage here. Really good size depth and sides too. So we have about a foot either side of the door, so a good amount of width. We have the irrigation system, tankless water heater, water softener loop if you wanted to add that. And then we have this step up here. So you do have quite a bit of room up here. And we'll just walk through here. This leads to the front area. So you can see this is your front patio space. All brick exterior, looks fantastic. Good amount of front patio space actually. This entrance is really interesting. There's a ton of space here, and it's truly just a foyer before you get into the main house. So we have a coat closet here, and then lots of natural light coming in here. So great amount of space, do whatever you want with it. You have the coat closet here, and then you can maybe add space for your shoes, anything else you need to put over here. I also like when they have the garage door and the front door coming in, so no matter what, you're coming in the same way every time. You don't have garages on this side of the house and then the front doors on that side of the house. Just makes it a little bit easier for when you're exiting and entering. Everything is here. Say you need a coat or whatever, it's all in the same spot, or where you leave your keys, right? Now we open up to the main living area. Feels a little dark, it's because we have the blinds drawn right now. Good amount of space though. They went with LVP flooring throughout this house. And then this opens up to the kitchen. I like the amount of space we have on the island. And then we do have fridge included with this one. Range instead of a built-in. So, you know, in this price point, it's kind of be more expected, as you are gonna have just the oven range. But we do have a really interesting backsplash that they went with here. They don't have any handles, any hardware on the cabinets. Pretty basic. I mean, not soft close, no handles. It's something you can add. That's what I did with my first house. It's not too difficult. I went with this dark brown look, which I'm not the biggest fan of for the look of these. Quite a lot of space, actually, from the ceiling up to the crown molding there. Then we have large single basin sink. Not the greatest view. So I like that we have this decent sized window letting in natural light when you're doing dishes, but you are just kind of staring at your neighbor's stoop. So for this specific lot, not the greatest view with that. But if it's not that, then the sink would be here, and then that takes up a lot of the countertop space. And that is something that I'm pretty impressed with for this price point. You have a lot of countertop space and quite a lot of cabinet space too. And then here, pantry is also quite large, bigger than I was expecting. So you do have a walk-in pantry. Here's just a linen closet. Now we kind of have to walk down this narrow path to get to everything else. So here is the guest bathroom. You can see they just kept the LVP flooring in the guest bathroom. Floor to ceiling tile though, so I think that looks good. And just a single sink. It's a good size for a guest, or a second bathroom I should say. And then here are the second bedroom, so no ceiling fan, to be expected with builders. Okay size room, not too terrible. Pretty typical closet space here. Carpeted. And then the second guest room, identical size. A little annoyed they put the closet right behind the front door, but I get why, because the other closet's right there, so they kind of had to put it on this side. So one of them had to have that. But yeah, not bad. And this one has a window leading into the backyard. Then we have our utility closet, so you don't get a utility room. Utility closet here, plenty of space. I do like that this is right by the back door. It's just out of the way. So if you're doing laundry here, you're not blocking the walkway for everybody else, right? Now this backyard, or this back patio, very small. Kind of sucks, in my opinion. It's really small. I was surprised when I saw it. So you don't have room to put like chairs even. I mean, maybe a chair if you just want to stare at a wall. But This is quite small. You can get a sense of the lot size. It's okay, not great, it's okay. We do have a little bit of a slope here, so I would be a little concerned about drainage, just making sure we're not getting, you know, just a river here or a huge puddle whenever it rains, making sure that it is adequate drainage, leaving the side of the house and not sitting close to the foundation either. And then not the greatest view, right, let's be honest, but I do like the privacy, right? With this elevation change, you're not looking at your backyards, they're not looking into you. So it is a pretty good amount of privacy with this home. Cool. But yes, back patio is, I'm curious to see how the other back patios compare, the other two homes we go check out. And then our primary, kind of an odd shape. So it's a good amount of space, I would say. It's just very long. But the problem is you're expected, because of where these outlets are, to put that bed here, right? And then you have the two outlets either side. So the bed's gonna be coming out, and so that's gonna cut the room in half. So it's just a little odd. You're gonna have a ton of space one side or the other with a very small walkway here to get around the bed. But you do get two windows, you get probably a good amount of natural light, and still keeping that privacy, even if you have the blinds up. And then the primary bath, we do have two sinks. We have the dual vanity. Pretty basic though, right? Nothing too exciting. We have the same cabinets we've seen. Still the LVP flooring, which I wish they switched it up. I'm getting a little bored of the LVP flooring in the bathrooms. Same tile that we saw in the previous one. Pretty good size shower though. This walk-in shower has the acrylic flooring, the acrylic pan. I like that they have the built-in shelf. And I like that we have natural light coming in. That's all really nice. And then floor to ceiling again with the tile. It's a nice touch. Closet, not terrible, not great. It's just a square, but plenty of space for two people, I would say. And then we have just another linen closet back here. Cool, so that was the Austin floor plan. Now let's go check out the next one. So the next house we're checking out is actually the most expensive home that they have available. This is listed at $410,900. It is their Kelly floor plan. It's a 4-bed, 3-bath, also 1-story, and it is 2,258 square feet. So one of their largest floor plans. Pan around so you can see they also have not completed this. This will be finished in about a month, but we can still get a sense of the floor plan. Pan around so you can kind of see this part of the street's pretty done. We have an empty lot right next to it, but it looks like everything else down the street is finished. Beautiful exterior with the stone and brick. I really like when they do the stone and brick. The white stone also just has a really clean look to it. Every now and then you have the red patches there. This looks great. Then we have this front entryway, keeping the brick around the door. That's interesting. Now this home, like I said, is still being worked on, so some of the lights aren't on right now. So we kind of have to ignore that. I know it doesn't show as well when the home it's dirty because they're working on it. There's a toilet missing in one of the bathrooms. Just try to get a sense of the layout is the main thing to take away from this. So to the right, same LVP flooring, by the way, I think as the previous home. Looks very similar. We have 2 guest rooms. Guest room number 1. And then guest room number 2 with 2 windows facing out to the front of the property. So this would also be good for a home office with that front facing window. And then here's the guest bathroom, natural light coming in this bathroom, which is a nice touch. But you are gonna notice, okay, it's the exact same tile that we saw in the previous home, same floor. So we're starting to see the same materials being used, which is for a reason. They're trying to bring prices down. So not as exciting, right? But you're getting a pretty big house, 2,300 square foot home, 1-story in the low 400s. And that's before we apply incentives and negotiate well. So something to be aware of. If you're looking for that custom, I want, you know, my bathrooms to be unique and different, Pacesetter and Crosswinds is just not gonna be a good fit for you. But if you're looking for price, just price effectiveness, this is definitely something to consider as we compare against the other builders in the neighborhood, in the surrounding area too. So I always wanted to point that out, is this is gonna be a theme, okay? But I like how wide this entryway is Really tall ceilings too. To the left here, again, really wide. The lights over here just aren't working, so I apologize for that. You're gonna take my word for it, a little trust exercise, but this is the same, okay, as far as about a foot from the wall to the garage door. We don't have a walkway here, but we still have a tankless water heater, irrigation system. It's very, very, very similar in dimension to the previous garage. And then we have our utility room, so a full room with this one, not just a closet space. Pretty good amount of space in here too. And then here's our third guest room, but this one actually has an ensuite. So this one's really nice. I like when they do these benches, that looks great. This one's really nice if you have someone older living with you. They get their own bathroom. Natural light, I mean, it's the exact same materials and countertop as before, but they do get their own bathroom and an okay sized closet for a guest room. So that's kind of the guest wing. Now we're opening up to formal dining, kitchen, and living area. So we'll start with the formal dining area. I think this is a really smart design. So we have it off to the side. You can put a really long table here. You're gonna have plenty of room for it. It's really smart that they push this out. So you can put maybe drinks here, some sort of countertop that you want to you can do a built-in right after the fact, or just put in some shelves here, put your drinks over here. But it's just nice to have this much space purely for large dining table. And it fits really well lengthwise with that indentation too. I think that looks great. And then looking at the kitchen, really like the granite countertop they did, about 1 inch thick. I like a thicker countertop, it looks great. Not a huge fan of the beige backsplash, subway tile. It's okay, it's a clean look, it's just kind of boring to me. We do have white cabinets, which I prefer. Still no hardware, still not soft close. Again, you can add hardware, not a big deal. This juts out quite a bit. I just realized as I'm walking through here, and that is up against the wall. So that's a little uncomfortable. Just walking through here, that's really pushing out. Good amount of pantry space with this one. And I like the windows either side. It's very different. I usually don't see that. Same range, right? 4-burner range, nothing too fancy. And then the microwave up top. And then we do have our sink in the island. The island is much bigger, right? Space for stools there too. But I do like this is kind of looking out towards the dining, and over here you're not just tucked in a corner, staring through a window while you're doing the dishes. You're still looking out to the rest of the open floor plan. Yeah, it's kind of a shame with this. I don't know why they went with this fridge, or just, I don't know why it's so tight. They have so much space too. It's like you just put this a foot more that way, you don't have an issue here, but that is really tight. And then this opens up to the primary living room. And so we have these 3 small square windows. This is where the couch would be. Again, really smart design where they have this pushed back. So putting a couch back here, you have plenty, or you're probably gonna be too far away, honestly, from that TV. So you may want to push up a little bit, just to be a little bit closer to it. 3 very large windows overlooking the backyard. Let's go check out the backyard. So back patio is not great. It's better than the first house, but that's not a tough bar to beat. It's very long, but I don't like that the pillar's right here in the middle. What I would do if I was going with this house is I would, after the fact, see if I could extend this back patio maybe 4 or 5 feet just to have more space, but then that pillar is right in the middle. And so that's not ideal. If you're someone who likes to spend a lot of time outside, this is not the best that I've seen. Also, this yard isn't a huge size. Again, you can ignore, right? It will be grass. We will not have a hole in the fence. I kind of have to look past that. But as far as the amount of space we have, it's not that big. And this is actually on their bigger lot. So this is a 50-foot lot, which means it's wider, right? But typically with bigger lots, you're gonna pay a premium for that, maybe another $5,000, something like that. And you would think you'd have a little bit more privacy. I would argue the first house on the 40-foot lot had more privacy just because of that specific lot situation. So I'm not a huge fan of this lot because the back neighbor is raised. I mean, it's right there. They're right there. I mean, you can just clearly see your neighbors from your back patio. And I always, if I can, I want to avoid that when I pick, where I'm gonna live. So with these new construction neighborhoods, just understand, like, they're gonna build a house 4 to 6 months. So if you have that time frame, what I would do is pick a lot first and find, okay, this one is elevated, so I'm gonna have more sky, or it's gonna be splitting 2 homes, so I'm not staring directly in my back neighbor's window. Try to find something that's gonna help you with privacy, and then build on that lot. If you can do that time frame, that's what I always recommend for people, because we're looking at a new construction neighborhood. You might as well take advantage of choosing the exact space you want to live, right? So yeah, not a huge fan of this backyard. And now, like this, I do like the amount of natural light here. Now we're in the primary bedroom. I really like this primary bedroom. So it does come with a fan, lots of natural light. Typically you would see just a couple windows. They have 2 of these really wide windows. And then we have 2 on either side of where you would put the bed. So king size bed right here, plenty of space for the rest of the room. And then this is actually a separate closet. We have 2 closets with this. So here's the first closet. Really good amount of space, especially with 2 closets. If this is just 1 person space, plenty of room in here. And then the bathroom, which I also really like. I do wish, again, it's just me coming from I want something different in my bathrooms. I don't really like LVP flooring in the bathroom. I wish it was tile. I wish it was a design. So it's a little boring having this same design, but from a functionality standpoint, this room works great. We have separated sinks, lots of natural light coming in. We have a large walk-in shower with the bench included, floor to ceiling tile. That looks great. We have the second closet right here, which again, if it's only 1 person using this, it's a pretty good sized closet. And then toilet, very wide toilet, wide room, I should say. And then really deep linen closet here. So yeah, I'm a fan. I like this floor plan a lot. I don't like the lot. I would pick a different lot for this one, but if you're looking for a 4-bedroom, 1 story in Crosswinds, this one's definitely something to consider and kind of compare. Okay, can I get a 4-bedroom with another builder that's over 2,200 square feet at 400,000? So yeah, for the price and the amount of space you get, I like this one a lot. Cool. We have 1 more home, and this one's actually going to be completed. It's their 1 actual, quick move-in ready home. So I'll see you over there. All right, here we're at the final Pacesetter home. This is their Beaumont floor plan. It's a 3-bed, 2.5 bath, 2-story home, 1,771 square feet. So kind of in between the 2 sizes we've seen before. And this one's listed at 372,900. Pan around so you can see where we are. A sense of the neighborhood. We got a couple open lots right here in front of us. Something I'm not showing today, but Pacesetter does offer these, so I can zoom in, have these upper deck patios that are really cool. So if you are interested in that, be aware Pacesetter does those too. Those are cool. Beautiful exterior. I like the elevation of this. So we have the stucco with kind of this black trim outline here. That looks really interesting. And then the really clean brick look. Yeah, I've loved this black trim, just kind of bordering everything. Looks really pretty. Long walkway up to the front patio. And then, I didn't even notice this before. Yeah, then we have some stone accents here in the stone pillars. Brick wall, brick wall. This looks really nice. Like the little lantern area there. We have looks like a little nest up there. Okay. I won't extend my welcome. Long-term viewers know that I have a fear of birds, so let's not get me screaming on camera today. Similar to previous homes, I really like this. Turn this off. They have the garage door entrance right next to the front door entrance. And so you can see this one. They're pretty consistent. So this one, again, about a foot of space, irrigation, tankless water heater, water softener loop, and then this walkway. So they're very, very similar with all of their garage spaces. Pretty good amount of space. But I do like this. I didn't even think about it. For my current house, And really for most homes I've been in, the garage door entrance and the front door entrance are typically far away from each other. They're not right next to each other. And so it's a small thing, but I usually come in through my garage door. My wife usually comes in through the front door. And we've had to figure out, okay, she needs a bowl for her keys, and where is she gonna put her coat and her shoes? And then for my garage door entrance, the same. So we have like two separate. I like that this is all just, everyone's coming in here. So let's put something here that makes sense for everyone, because this is the entry exit every time we come into the house. You can get a sense of the super tall ceilings, because this is an open floor plan up to the second floor. This is definitely the coolest architecturally. I really like this floor plan quite a bit. We have this understairs storage. And then this opens up to the primary living area. I'll walk back here first. Really cool long bench here. And then our kitchen's kind of tucked away a little bit. So this is probably the thing I'm not the biggest fan of, is just the kitchen being away from everything. But we have quite a bit of countertop space here. Again, that higher quality granite countertop, large single basin sink, looking out to the living room. I like that. Pretty boring beige backsplash. I'll have to get over that. It's the same stuff, right? Same range, same microwave, same refrigerator. This is the laundry room, so our utility room tucked away back here, which I don't mind. A, I like that with natural light coming in. B, I like this being far away because it's usually kind of loud when the dryer's going. So close the door, that's gonna be far away from everybody else. Check out the back patio. This definitely wins for back patio. It's also a really good lot placement too. So much larger back patio space. We have the electrical outlet here. No gas outlet for your grill, so I don't think we'll get that from Pacesetter. And then you have your water spigot there. A decent amount of space here, just grass here on this side. This is a 40-foot lot, like the previous home, or like the first home, excuse me. So like I said, they do 40 and 50-foot lots. But honestly, don't read too far into that. Really, a 40, 50-foot lot is gonna mean two things. One, the 50-foot's gonna be a little wider, and B, you're gonna have specific floor plans you can put on a 50-foot if you do the to-be-built route. So that's really the only thing to consider, is if you fall in love with a floor plan, then you're gonna have to put it on either the 40 or 50, depending on what they build that floor plan on. Typically, larger homes, they build on the 50-foot lot, okay? But this house, 1771 square feet, it's on a 40-foot lot, and it's a really interesting lot because we have that little corner, so we have a little bit more there, and then this is an empty lot, so that's going to have a house there. But even, thinking about that, we have a pretty good amount of privacy for here. We just have to become friends with our neighbor right there. But this one definitely is the best one. Way bigger back patio. Lots of shade back here. Some people care about having brick on the back. It never really bothered me. It's something I just don't notice personally. So we do have the hardy plank backing, if that's important to you. All right, so now let's check out. This is actually the half in the primary. So we have our half bathroom, really good size half bathroom. And I like that it is very close to living area. So easy for someone to get to. We have guests over, half bath is right there. And then this is actually our primary. So we do have a primary downstairs, which is great. Not my favorite layout. Love that we have this bench, again, really cool, love it. Where do you put the bed, right? You put it here, I would assume, but then it's sticking out long way, so you have a ton of room on either side, but then you're cutting this walkway short. So yeah, not my favorite. I wish this was pushed back more, so we had more room to put the bed here, but we couldn't put it here because of the door. So it's a good amount of space, it's just not the greatest layout, right? Typically I would put the bed there, but then with the windowsill behind me, that's just weird to me. But maybe I'm weird for saying that, who knows? Anyway, I'm getting very passionate about bedroom placement. This is gonna be extremely similar to what we've seen before. Definitely the last bathroom was better than this one, had more space. Seems like with this, they didn't start doing the tile floor to ceiling policy yet. So We don't have that extra tile. Not a big deal. I wish it was like that, but you know, not a deal breaker for me. We have the 2 sinks, dual vanity. Toilet's actually out in the open, which is rare. Usually that is behind a door. Rare, and I would say a bad way. And then walk-in closet space. It's okay. It's a decent amount of space. Let's check out upstairs. So carpeted stairs. I really like how they did this staircase and the upper landing. So we have this open concept of it. It overlooks the main living area and the foyer, the entryway. Ton of natural light, super tall ceilings. It's not just stairs in a corner with walls on the other side. And then I love that they do this and they continue it up here. So you have these slits in the drywall where they put the banister, and it's just interesting. I've never actually seen this before. So you can lean over, talk to, the couch would be right there, right? TV right there. Talk to whoever's down there, but it also blocks a lot of the sound because it's not fully open. So you have people up here. Maybe this is a game room for the teenagers or just a second living room. You just need some more space. Put a TV up here, right? Sound's coming this way. You're pretty far away from the living room downstairs. So I think the amount of noise bleeding between both it's a nice mix of it's open, but it's closed off. Now I'm sure they did that just to save money on not doing a full banister, but I think it works really well. This is also a really wide walkway, which is great. So pretty good amount of space up here. Like they had a ceiling fan too. Here's the guest bathroom. Again, nothing too special. Same materials we've seen. I wish it went to the ceiling. It's so close, but whatever. And then guest bedroom number 1. It's a decent size, a little small. I love these. I mean, I guess at this height, it's more of a windowsill than a bench, but really large. It's just it's an interesting, unique feature you typically don't see. And as a cat owner, I know they would love that. And then this will just be a linen closet. Guest bedroom number 2, right? It's a 3-bedroom. Again, keeping it. And these corner closets, pretty good for a guest bed, much bigger than usual. I really like the amount of natural light. A lot of homes, I mean, I'm talking homes in the 800, 900,000s, their guest bedrooms have a single window. And this house, listed in the high 300,000s, you got 1, 2, 3 windows in this guest bedroom. So ton of natural light in here. And it really just depends on how you use it. So for me and my wife, same with this, 2 windows, right? For me and my wife, we don't have kids, we're never going to have kids. And so this kind of works out though, because I want a home office, she'll want her own crafts area, home office space. And so those rooms are really interesting. They could be used for home offices too. And then just having this upstairs area, right? It could be great for if you have kids. It could also be great if you're an adult with no kids and you want to put a pool table up here, or you want to have movie night up here with friends over. And so put a popcorn machine in the corner, we set up a projector in here, tons of seating. You can do whatever you want with this space. So it's nice having this extra game room, family room, hangout spot upstairs. You're not just restricted to that one living room. So I think of the 3 I've seen today, this is definitely my favorite. I really like this architecture. I mean, it's so unique with this walking down the stairs. I live in a 2-story right now, and my stairs is just so boring. And then this, it's just open. Very, very cool, very different. And also, this home is their home of the week, which the sales rep just told me right before that I started shooting. So they're trying it, something new. I know D.R. Horton and other builders have done stuff like this. It's basically an inventory home that they want off their books. And so they're calling it home of the week, and they're offering a little bit extra with it. And so what Pacesetter's doing is offering 2% more in flex cash. So with the home listed at $370, we're about $7,400 more that you get to play with. So that's also another reason I like this house, is from the financial side of it. They have really good incentives with the 3.99%, then becoming 4.99% interest rate. You could get that with this house, and then on top of it, have $7,500 taken off of your closing costs. So that means you're going to be able to buy the house for $7,500 less out of pocket right off the bat. And you're gonna have that lower interest or that lower monthly payment when you start paying your mortgage payments because you're able to get that lower interest rate too. So yeah, this is definitely a winner for me. But that being said, I always wanna check other builders, right? Neighborhood like this, compare incentives, compare floor plans. So if you are thinking of buying in this area, maybe you're commuting to Austin, maybe you're moving to this area from out of state, or maybe you rent in the area and you're just ready to buy your first house, you can always give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or schedule a Zoom call. I'd love to help you and your family find a perfect home in the Kyle Buda area. Until next time, I hope to see you guys around town.